Yo, what's up 2K Nola? I wanted to do this video because a lot of people look at the Pelicans roster and see a bunch of babies who is not ready to accomplish anything to about the next 4 or 5 years. And I honestly see something different. I actually see a team who can win and shock a lot of people in the playoffs. The New Orleans Pelicans have an experienced coach and a hungry roster. And I think with this roster that they do have, the New Orleans Pelicans can resemble the same winning culture as the San Antonio Spurs. Although the Pelicans have a great supporting cast, let's talk about the starting five and how they compare to San Antonio. Keep in mind, these players I'm bringing up for the New Orleans Pelicans, that is the potential I see for these players. Even if they're not there yet, I still can see them becoming that or overcoming that if they really work on their craft. Now, let's start with Lonzo Ball, who would be Tony Parker. Lonzo Ball has the demeanor of a leader. He's not Steph Curry just yet, but Lonzo definitely has upside. You guys see Lonzo game and you know he likes to attack the rim, how easy he can get to the basket, his passing ability, and one thing that came out to a lot of people is his defense. And that's why I'm comparing him to Tony Parker. I see many shades of Tony Parker in his game. Lonzo Ball has to work on his shot and, perfecting his craft a little more. And I think he can be the best point guard in Pelicans history if he locks in and focus this offseason. All right, next would be Brandon Ingram. Now, Brandon Ingram would be Manu Ginobili. Think about Brandon Ingram for a second. He is one of the guys who is expected to become a superstar. He is very competitive, just like Manu. He has a passion for the game. He has a great get it done by all means attitude. And he's going to find a way to defend. And definitely he's going to find ways to score. And Brandon Ingram is going to be one of the guys I think the sky is the limit for this kid. And he also can become the best small forward in Pelicans history. The Pelicans have been looking for a small forward for a very long time now. And I think that time is now for Brandon Ingram to step up, show what he's been working on, and recover from the blood clot issue and come back really, really strong. That's what I'm expecting from him this season. So I'm looking to see a Manu Ginobili type season from Brandon Ingram. Just a lot more scoring, a lot more poise to his game, and to show what he's been working on in this offseason. All right. Now, the next comparison I think is the easiest comparison out of this group will be Jrue Holiday and Kawhi Leonard. With their ability to dominate on both ends of the court, what's going to be interesting about Jrue this year, he will have his chance to finally be the leader of his own team, just like Kawhi did with the Raptors. Now, a lot of people sleeps on Jrue's ability to score the ball. But if you think about it, if you look at Jrue or watch Jrue, you would know that he dropped 41 against the Blazers in the playoffs. He dropped 37 against the Knicks, 36 against the 76ers, 37 against the Pistons. So Jrue Holiday can score the ball. Jrue Holiday's goal this year is going to be living up to all the pressure that he asks for this team. He asked for all the pressure, he asked for all the smoke, and David Griffin gave it to him. David Griffin also went as far as to saying Jrue Holiday can be MVP. So what do you guys think about that? Jrue was all NBA and all defensive team this past season. Now the pressure is on for Jrue Holiday to take that next step and make a case for MVP, which will be very hard to do over guys like Giannis, Harden, LeBron, who also will be chasing MVP. And I don't think that it's impossible for Jrue. I just think Jrue will have to work really, really hard this offseason to try to become that leader, that veteran scorer that everybody sleeps on, and so he can try to put his name in the case to be MVP. All right, next. A lot of people gonna say, since we know Zion Williamson is in the starting lineup for the New Orleans Pelicans, who could you possibly compare him to? A lot of people are saying Julius Randle. A lot of people are saying Charles Barkley. Zion is saying Draymond Green. And others going as far as to say LeBron James. But me, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say he's a very, very young David Robinson. Yes, the Hall of Famer, David Robinson. David really was the definition of a winner and workaholic. David was bigger and stronger than a lot of guys, and the way he took care of his body is something that Zion is going to have to work on. His ability to block shots and attack the paint is right up Zion Williamson's alley. So I got David Robinson for Zion Williamson. And now Zion will have to work on his shot ability. That's one thing I think he will have to work on his game, to be able to space the floor to attack the paint the way that he likes to attack the paint. Because the game has changed tremendously from the time that David Robinson was playing. And another thing, I was very disappointed when I heard Zion has sat down for 2 months doing nothing. I thought he was going to be working on his game really, really hard, but I'm sure they sparked that in him over this summer league when they seen that he was fatigued and he had to take care of his body a little bit better. But I gave him David Robinson. If Zion really works hard this offseason, this can be another guy where the sky is the limit. And I know he's going to come out hungry. I know one thing you cannot question is Zion's effort. But where I think they match most is the character, man. Their character off and on the court. Zion is a very nice, humble guy. And I can't wait to see how his game translates to the NBA. Man, last but not least, Derek Favors would have to be my boy, my favorite player, Tim Duncan. Now, Derek Favors is the true definition of untapped potential coming off the bench and didn't really get a chance to show his full potential. And now he will have that opportunity with the New Orleans Pelicans, which I think will unlock a Tim Duncan-esque season for Derek Favors. Favors has that hustle mentality to win, loves to defend, loves to play the post, and he's been working very hard this offseason. And the potential for Favors is going to be really good. Now, where Favors and Tim match the most will be that locker room presence, that leadership presence with Favors, poise and calm demeanor. You hear Favors always talking about being a leader, coming in and being humble and helping these young guys grow. And I think that's what's going to create a winning San Antonio Spurs-like future for the New Orleans Pelicans. And this is the reason why, man. This is the reason why I think they have a better chance than people think at not only winning in the playoffs, but also coming to and winning the championship if they're able to keep this group together. And the New Orleans Pelicans are one of the teams that are not in the luxury tax. So think about that. They would be able to have a chance to keep these guys. And if they're winning and doing the right things in the offseason, I think they have a good chance. Now, who will have to bring this all together is Alvin Gentry. Alvin Gentry is not excluded from this, because we know Greg Pop did his part as a coach. Alvin Gentry will have to step his game up too. The run and gun system is good with scoring points, but is it effective in winning games? Always just scoring points. Think about that. Call Gentry out. And Gentry last year had a very horrible job on defense. So Gentry has to step his game up on defense. We don't want to hear that he's just always scoring points, making highlights. We want to actually win with the New Orleans Pelicans. So the glue to this whole thing working out is going to have a big thing to do with who's coaching. And a lot of people is not high on Gentry, but he's a very experienced coach. I think he's the right coach. And I think he needs to just pick up on his flaws that he had last season. There's no way we should see any more games or any more seasons where the Pelicans are top 5 in worst defense in the NBA. And I'm sure David Griffin is going to hold him to that. People are expecting the Pelicans to be babies, but I'm not. I'm expecting the Pelicans to win. Show these guys that you guys are young, but you guys are here to win, and you guys are here to stay, and you guys are going to be very dangerous for the next few years to come. And that's what I wanted to say about this video. While everybody is seeing the Pelicans as babies, I see them as a group of guys who have a great future and who can win now, who can go to the playoffs this year now. And these are the comparisons that I have for these guys. This is the potential that I see this team having. And with that being said, man, catch me on the next video. I'm going to try to do a video about Zion Williamson. Just be on the lookout for that. Make sure you hit that like, comment, And subscribe, man. Seriously, subscribe to this channel. Help this channel grow. And shout out to all you new subscribers, man. And be on the lookout. Whatever's good for your soul, remember, do that.